The PC handhelds we've gotten from the likes of Asus, Lenovo, and others, though impressive and very exciting, still fall shy in one way or another from this dream of mine. However, the Claw 8 AI Plus may very well close that gap. But at 1,300 Canadian dollars, I may need to start dreaming about something else. Yeah, you're definitely gonna need to start dreaming about something else, bro. Not the Claw 8 because you already have that. But maybe a new savings account. If you haven't read or watched my last feature about how every current PC handheld falls short of my dream handheld device, the gist of it is that each device currently available on the market lacks one or more features that keep it from being perfect for me. The Ally X's screen is a little too small for AAA titles, the Steam Deck is underpowered and lacks RAM, and the original Legion GO has bad battery life and also lacks RAM. The only device that seemed perfect in every way was the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, but it costs 1,300 Canadian dollars, and that's if you can even find the damn thing and don't have to pay a scalper's interest. So when I saw a unit randomly pop up on my local Facebook marketplace with the seller listing their practically new unit for just under MSRP and even adding a few nice accessories, I had to have a conversation with my savings account. Hey bro, so No. No? What do you mean no?
I'm saying no, you're not buying the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus.
How did you?
Because I know you, bro, and the answer is no.
But bro, you don't get it, man. This is a dream handheld of mine. And this dude, he's selling it for a good price. And
I don't give a damn. Go back to playing GeForce Now on the G Cloud. That dude's already upset that you're thinking of leaving him. Just look at him.
I'm still gonna use him for remote play?
Exactly. So why don't you go do that? Stop with the foolishness and go play Final Fantasy Rebirth on your PS5 that you've been putting off for months. Matter of fact, why not go and look for ways to make some more money so that you can secure your financial future, huh?
I'm gonna buy it.
You better not. God damn.
It's been a week since I've gotten the Claw 8 AI Plus, and I've been having an absolute blast with it. It's blown me away in pretty much every aspect, from performance to battery life to everything in between. Well, everything except one glaring aspect, which I'll get to in a bit. For now, let's get into what I've been loving about the device and my overall thoughts after a week of use. The moment you pick up the Claw, you'll instantly realize just how much of a beastly unit this thing is. This is an incredibly solid piece of tech with a heft and rigidity to its build quality. It by no means feels cheap, which for as much as it goddamn costs, better not. Yet for as big and substantial as it feels, it's not heavy per se. At 795 grams, the Claw 8 weighs only 100 or so more grams than the original Steam Deck. I've been able to play quite comfortably for hour-plus long sessions without feeling much hand fatigue. I'm a big guy with medium to large hands, and they wrap around very nicely along the curvature of this device. The handles also protrude out just enough and have ridges on them to provide a nice grip, which helps to feel like you're holding an actual controller and not just some slab of plastic. The buttons are also very nice. They're in the standard ABXY layout and feel very much like the ones on the Xbox controller. The sticks and triggers are Hall effect. They're full-sized and feel quite good as well. The one aspect I was concerned about after watching some reviews was the D-pad, as some reviewers didn't like how it felt for fighting games. As someone who casually dabbles in Guilty Gear Strive and retro 2D titles, this was a concern of mine. Happy to report that the D-pad for me feels great. It's like the Xbox controller, but not clicky, which is a big plus for me. Yes, the edges of the directional buttons do slope up a bit, which can be a little awkward feeling for the thumbs, but I got used to it fairly quickly and didn't have much issue pulling off quarter circles in Strive. There are also a couple of nice macro buttons which you can use to bind certain button combos. I mainly use it for L3 for sprinting, as I don't like pressing down on the sticks to sprint. Lastly, I will say, even with above average size hands, I do at times still find it a little difficult to reach the shoulder buttons when holding the device naturally, having to at times creep up slightly to hit them. Not a big deal by any means, but if you do have smaller hands, it's something to keep note. Now, let's talk about the screen. This is an 8-inch 1200p LCD panel with VRR, and it's perfectly nice. It's not OLED, so you won't get those popping colors with perfect black levels, but it's a nice quality LCD. And the 8-inch screen makes playing AAA titles an absolute blast, with that VRR helping to mitigate any sudden stutters with the frame rate. In terms of brightness, the Claw goes up to 500 nits, which is sufficient for playing in bright rooms, though it might not be quite enough to play under direct sunlight. Now, let's finally talk about the two biggest factors anyone looking into a PC handheld should care about: performance and battery life. I'm going to go right ahead and say it. The MSI Claw 8 AI Plus is an absolute beast that can run a marathon. Going in, I knew that the Intel Lunar Lake chips were beefy and that the Core Ultra 7 258V paired with the Arc Graphics 140V inside the Claw 8 not only benchmarked in gaming tests better than the AMD Z1 Extreme chip, but in some cases better than even the yet-to-be-released Z2 Extreme chip. But seeing benchmarks or tests on YouTube isn't comparable to actually having the device in your hands and seeing how fluidly demanding AAA games run on it. I've played a ton of Doom the Dark Ages at 1200p medium settings with XeSS set to balanced, and was comfortably getting north of 40 frames per second, which for me was a perfectly smooth experience. I also played a few hours of The Witcher 3 at 1200p high settings with XeSS on quality and got around the same frame rates. The crazy part, though, is that I was able to play at those settings and get those frame rates while never bumping up to the full 30-watt TDP. To get the most battery life, I've been playing every AAA game at 17 watts and have yet to run into any issues. The only time I did was to test out ray tracing on The Witcher 3, where I was able to play the game at 1200p medium settings, XeSS at balanced, and ray tracing turned on and still achieve 30 plus FPS. Imagine that, playing a AAA title with ray tracing at playable frame rates on a handheld device. I know it's a 10-year-old game, but still, that is incredibly impressive. When it comes to battery life, as I alluded to earlier, the Claw 8 is an endurance champ. With an 80 watt-hour battery, playing games at 8 or 17 watts gives you anywhere from 3 to 12 hours of game time. I've been able to have 2 or 3 play sessions throughout the day and still have juice left over by the time I go to bed. Yes, playing at the full 30 watts will cut that length quite drastically, but as mentioned, because of the sheer power of the device, I've yet needed to go to that 30 watt TDP. And with the continued development of XeSS and third-party frame gen programs like lossless scaling, I doubt I'll need to anytime soon. Alright, so I've spent this entire video gushing about the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, and rightfully so because I love this device. But it's not perfect. So let's dish out some criticism, of which I really only have one. But boy, is it a damn big one. Software. First off, Windows isn't great. I left Bill Gates and his trillion-dollar company a decade ago for Tim Cook and his trillion-dollar company, mainly because I thought Windows sucked. 10 years later, and Windows still kinda sucks. It's not terrible, and is far less finicky and obtrusive than when I last remember using it, but things still randomly glitch out and I quickly find myself having to do busy work when I'd much rather be playing games. That being said, once I did all the Windows updates, updated all the necessary drivers, and set certain settings to my liking, it's been, for the most part, okay. And I'm fine dealing with Windows' minor quirks, especially because it allows me to use Game Pass seamlessly, dabble with emulators, and even use it as a proper workstation if I want. What hasn't been okay, however, is MSI's software. Below the Start and Select buttons are 2 additional buttons, one for bringing up MSI's Quick Access menu and the other to launch MSI Center. Neither of which work half the time. The Quick Access menu will either be incredibly laggy to show up or won't show up at all, to the point where if I want to adjust the brightness, I end up simply swiping to bring up the Windows taskbar and doing it from there. When I would rather interact with Windows than your software, you know you've screwed up big time. MSI Center is also a clunky mess. It's slow, buggy, and even ended up crashing the device one time. Thankfully, it's gotten somewhat better in the week that I've had the Claw 8 after an update, but it's still nowhere near as fluid as I'd like. Overall, for as much as it pains me to be $1,300 poorer, I can't deny that the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus has thus far been an incredible device to use. Even with MSI's terrible software, which I'm hoping gets better with updates as the months go on, this device has fulfilled all of my handheld gaming dreams, and I'm very excited to see how far I can push this thing in the months to come. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, comment below, subscribe. You know all the YouTube algorithm stuff. Go check out the website at pixel-switch.com. All my videos get uploaded as articles over there. And if you want basketball and film content, go check out my TikTok at pixelswitchofficial. I'm also at pixelswitchofficial on Instagram. You can follow me on Blue Sky. I forget what my handle is there. Everything's in the description below, so go check out all the social media and all that stuff there. Thank you again so much for watching. I'm gonna go fiddle around more with this thing. I'll see you next time. Peace.